everyone, this is Brian from Motive Training, and today we're going to do big toe pails and rails. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in a half kneeling position, we're going to have our socks off, and we're going to put our big toe into a stretch. And just so you know, we're going to skip through how we do actual pails and rails because that's been done 1,000 times. We're just going to go over the setup to get you in the best position to get the best results possible. So ideally we want an immobile object. I'm going to use this block here. It's not ideal because if I press my toe down hard enough, the block might shoot away. So you want to maybe do this up against the wall. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put our big toe into extension. So we want that toe to be straight up in the air, and we want to feel a stretch on the underside. How long you hold this will be up to who programs pails and rails for you. So the trick here is that when we're in this position and we're going to be sitting in this stretch, we want to make sure that we're in extension and that we're not in adduction. The tricky part is most people who cannot get into good extension will probably result in their toe going inward, and that would be adduction. We want it to stay in extension only, neutral, so we want the big toe to be straight up and down. So you might even want to pull the block away from the center of your foot a little so that you're pulling it away from adduction. You're going to be abducting the toes slightly. So you're going to hold this position. You would stretch it for as long as you're supposed to stretch it. You're going to eventually engage it slowly, turning up that tension like a dial, and that would be the PAILs contraction. So you'd be pressing that big toe into the block. You would do a max effort PAILs until you would try to do a rails. Now for rails, if you were to attempt to lift the big toe up further, there's a good chance it's going to do one of two things. It's going to adduct again, so you're going to find that that big toe is going to want to go towards your center. So if we lift it, it's going to want to go in, okay, instead of being out. The other thing you might notice is that when you go to lift your big toe up, so when you're doing your rails and you're on that block, you might have the lesser toes try to lift. So what I recommend you do is press your toes down so that they're not getting involved at all. So you're going to immobilize those toes so that we just get pure extension on that big toe. And again, this is probably the best way to set up for it. This way you can really just focus on pure toe extension, which is the goal.